floating through the silent sea of stars. Listen to drift into deep sleep. Beyond the known constellations, where maps dissolve into mist, I drift through a sea of sapphire dust. The nebula stretches endlessly, a living ocean of light. Each ripple a whisper from a dying star, each shimmer a memory of something once burning, once alive. There is no gravity here, only motion, slow and infinite. My body doesn't fall, it floats between thought and silence. The ship hums faintly around me, a heartbeat made of metal and light. Its walls breathe with me, expanding, contracting, as if the vessel itself were dreaming. Outside the window, the stars pulse in shades of turquoise and pale gold. Threads of luminous gas weave and unweave like soft fabric in slow motion. I imagine the nebula as a living being, ancient and kind, humming lullabies in frequencies too deep for words. The light seeps through the glass, washing over my skin. For a moment, I am not separate from it. Each particle glows with a rhythm of its own, like fireflies that learn the language of eternity. I stretch my hand toward the window, tracing the path of a drifting spark. It moves as if answering the gesture, hovering close, then dissolving into the infinite blue. Time becomes fluid here. I no longer count the hours or the rotations of stars. There's only the movement, soft, circular, unhurried. Somewhere deep in the hum of the engines, a low tone repeats itself, steady and calm. It sounds almost like breathing. Perhaps it is my own breath echoing back from the void. My thoughts begin to dissolve one by one. The weight of memory, the sound of earth, the feeling of gravity, all of it loosens, unties. What remains is a gentle awareness, a slow pulse floating through space. The nebula begins to thin ahead. Beyond its veil lies a pale, glowing sphere, half hidden in the mist. A planet, or perhaps only a reflection. Its surface gleams with the color of moonlight on water. I can see movement, waves of light shimmering like liquid glass. Around it, smaller moons turn quietly, glowing with a serene blue hue. As I approach, the stars behind me fade, swallowed by the planet's glow. The hum of the ship softens. The sensors fall silent. For the first time in this endless drift, I feel the faint pull of a new world, gentle, like an invitation whispered through the cosmos. I close my eyes. The light still seeps in, blue and tender. I imagine it touching my thoughts, uncoiling them. My heartbeat slows until it aligns with the rhythm of the ship, with the rhythm of the stars. Somewhere between consciousness and dream, a thought emerges, quiet, certain, like a message carried by light. I am traveling to a place without day or night. The sentence echoes softly in my mind, folding into the stillness. Ahead, the pale sphere waits, half sea, half sky, breathing in waves of radiant calm. And I keep drifting deeper into its light. From afar, it emerged, a sphere of trembling blue light adrift in the endless dark. At first, I mistook it for a reflection, a mirage cast by my own weary eyes after drifting too long through the nebular haze. But then the light pulsed, slow and rhythmic, as if the planet itself were breathing. I slowed my vessel's course. Through the transparent dome, waves of sapphire shimmer spilled into view. The planet was covered entirely by an ocean that glowed from within, like a living lantern adrift in space. Countless moons, soft, blue, white, and translucent, orbited it lazily, their reflections rippling across the liquid surface. Every turn of light created another rhythm, another heartbeat. There was no horizon, No line dividing sky and sea. Only motion. The slow curl of luminescence that folded into itself like silk stirred by wind. I felt my body lean forward as though drawn by an invisible current. The sense of up and down dissolved. I was no longer falling through space. I was floating through light. A thought drifted through me like a whisper. Maybe this is what silence looks like. Each moon cast a different hue. One glowed a pale cyan, painting the water in cool tranquility. Another shimmered like frozen glass, while a third bathed the planet in the faintest lavender blush. The shifting tones merged into an oceanic aurora, a serene dance that blurred the boundaries between matter and dream. As I approached the atmosphere, the glow intensified, a luminous mist rising from the ocean's breath. It was not fog nor storm, but something gentler. Particles of light floated upward, forming trails that drifted like music too faint to hear. They brushed the hull of my vessel and dissolved on contact, leaving no mark, no trace. Yet I could feel them, soft, like snowflakes melting against skin. The nearer I came, the more it felt as though the planet was calling, not with words, but with gravity made of emotion. Every pulse of light resonated in my chest, syncing with my heartbeat. It wasn't fear or awe. Something quieter, something close to longing. I closed my eyes for a moment. Behind my eyelids, the glow continued. It filled the space between thoughts, dissolving edges until even memory began to float. My mind, once restless, softened into the rhythm of this living ocean. When I opened my eyes again, I realized I had already crossed into its light. There was no sound of entry, no shudder of atmosphere, only the sensation of being enveloped by something infinite and kind. The stars above dimmed into soft halos. The moons drifted closer, reflected perfectly upon the water's surface, until it was impossible to tell which were real and which were merely dreams. I hovered there, caught in a luminous silence, and thought, perhaps this was not a place to explore, but to surrender to. Perhaps, for the first time, I was not traveling through the universe. The universe was traveling through me. The moment my vessel pierced the planet's upper atmosphere, sound itself began to fade. It wasn't silence in the ordinary sense, not the absence of noise, but the slow unweaving of vibration, the hum of the engines, the whisper of circulating air, even the faint rhythm of my own breath. All of it thinned into something translucent. The light grew thicker around me, pooling like mist. It wrapped the ship in slow-moving ribbons of azure and pale turquoise, and I could almost see the quiet, gentle folds of calm rippling across the hull. Outside, droplets of glowing vapor clung to the glass dome, tracing paths downward as though the planet were raining light. I guided the vessel through this ocean of atmosphere where gravity didn't feel like a pull, but a soft invitation. The descent felt eternal, not a fall, but a surrender. Every meter closer brought a new shade of blue, deep indigo, then silver. Then a hue so faint it seemed to hum with emotion. Then all motion ceased. The vessel drifted to a still hover, suspended above an endless surface of liquid light. For a moment, I hesitated. The world below was impossibly still, reflecting the moons and stars so perfectly it was as if space itself had folded downward. I released the stabilizers. The landing gear extended, not into solid ground, but into something that shimmered and yielded like breath. A soft hiss marked the opening of the hatch. The air that met me was warm and moist, filled with the scent of salt and something unfamiliar, like memory washed clean. I stepped out, and the first touch of the planet greeted me not with resistance, but with light. The surface beneath my feet was fluid, yet it held me, as though the ocean itself wanted to bear my weight. Each step sent ripples of brilliance across the water, circles of blue-white radiance blooming outward, fading into the horizon. The sensation was unlike walking or swimming. I was moving through the planet, and the planet was moving through me. The air shimmered with faint particles, slow and deliberate, drifting like lazy fireflies. They landed on my suit and dissolved, leaving trails of cool warmth. The horizon itself was indistinct. The sea rose into the sky seamlessly, so I couldn't tell where one ended and the other began. There was no sun, yet everything glowed. No wind, yet the air breathed. I inhaled deeply, and for a fleeting instant, it felt like the world was breathing with me. I looked up. The nearest moon hovered low and immense, casting reflections that rippled through the atmosphere. Its surface pulsed gently, as though responding to my presence. Around it, faint rings of light spiraled outward, liquid halos drawn into motion by unseen tides. I crouched down and let my fingers touch the sea. It was neither cold nor warm, neither solid nor liquid. It was something else. Pure sensation, pure calm. It responded to my touch with slow radiance, curling around my hand like affectionate smoke. And in that quiet, I realized something profound. There was no distinction between landing and arriving. I had not entered this planet. I had become part of it. The longer I stood there, the lighter I felt. My thoughts drifted outward like the glowing ripples beneath me, dissolving one by one until only awareness remained. The planet did not speak, yet its silence filled me with stories. When I finally looked back at the ship, it seemed smaller, almost irrelevant. The journey that had brought me here, across light years, across solitude, suddenly felt like a preparation for this single moment of stillness. I took another step, and the ocean bloomed beneath my feet. The light followed, soft and endless, as if the planet itself welcomed me home. At first, I thought the planet was silent, but as I stood there, surrounded by the boundless shimmer, a sound began to bloom, soft, deliberate, and impossibly deep. It wasn't the crash of waves or the wind's restless hum. It was slower, steadier, like the pulse of something alive. The sea moved in long, languid breaths. Each ripple pressed against the air, folding gently over itself, as though the planet were inhaling and exhaling in unison with me. The rhythm carried through my chest, a heartbeat not my own, yet somehow shared. It was ancient, patient, kind. I sat down at the edge of the vessel's shadow, letting my hands rest in the glowing water. The ripples were faintly warm, and when they touched my skin, the sound deepened. Not louder, but closer, vibrating softly through my bones. It felt as though the entire ocean were whispering beneath the surface, speaking in a language too vast for words. I leaned back and closed my eyes. The world around me shifted. The sense of gravity dissolved once more, and I began to float. My body weightless, my mind adrift between wakefulness and dream. The planet cradled me with invisible arms, Each wave lifted me slightly, then let me go, like a slow heartbeat rocking me toward sleep. In this half-conscious state, the boundaries blurred. The sound of the sea became the sound of blood in my ears. The rhythm of my breath matched the ocean's sigh. I was no longer sure where my body ended and the planet began. It was all one motion, one tide. Then, through the hazy blue light, I noticed something stirring below. The glow from above, the moon's silver reflection, seemed only part of the story. From beneath the surface, new colors rose slowly, softly, like dreams surfacing through sleep. Golden threads of light coiled upward, winding through the blue depths. Pale green glimmers followed, pulsing gently as if breathing their way toward the surface. Soon, the sea beneath me was alive, illuminated from within, each movement revealing a secret geometry of brightness. I rolled onto my back and floated there, eyes open to the moons and stars above, the ocean glowing beneath. It was a mirror with two faces, the heavens reflected below, the deep reflecting the heavens. I existed in the space between them, a thin layer of awareness stretched across infinity. The sound grew richer, not louder, but fuller. It was as if the light itself carried tone. Every ripple of color came with a soft chord, a resonance that merged with the next. The sea was playing itself, a symphony of phosphorescence and silence. Somewhere in that sound, I thought I heard a memory. Not mine, but the planet's. A story told in rhythm, carried through the water for millennia. It spoke of moons rising and falling, of creatures made of light, of tides that remembered every touch they ever received. I let the sound fill me. My heartbeat slowed until it matched the ocean's. My mind loosened its grip on thought. Time flattened, dissolved. And in that suspension, that fragile space between drifting and dreaming, I understood. This was not a sea to cross or explore. It was a sea to listen to, a sea that waited for stillness before it revealed its truth. So I floated, eyes half closed, listening to the quiet thunder of a living world, and allowed myself to be carried deeper into its breath. The longer I floated, the clearer the light beneath me became. At first, I thought it was only the ocean's own glow. Soft currents of bioluminescence drifting aimlessly through the water. But soon, the movements grew intentional. The lights began to gather, weaving gentle spirals beneath the surface, their patterns too graceful to be random. A cluster of golden strands drew near, pulsing in rhythm, slow, then quick, then slow again. They moved like thoughts taking form. I leaned forward, peering through the translucent blue. What I saw felt less like a creature and more like a song made visible. A body woven entirely of light, fluid and infinite in its motion. One of them rose toward me, hovering just beneath the surface. Its glow trembled in soft ripples, as though deciding whether to breach the boundary between sea and air. Then it did. A column of radiance rose from the water and curved into shape. Neither solid nor liquid, neither animal nor flame. It stood before me in quiet balance, its contours shifting with each pulse, its form defined only by the rhythm of its own luminosity. The sound I had heard before, the heartbeat of the ocean, seemed to change. It wasn't a single rhythm anymore, but many, overlapping and intertwining. Every pulse of light from the being before me carried a tone, a vibration that resonated within my chest. It was trying to communicate. The realization came not as a thought, but as a feeling that unfolded like dawn. The being sent out a sequence of light pulses. Bright, dim, pause, bright again. I closed my eyes, trying to listen not with my ears, but with my body. A warmth spread through me, not heat, but something gentler, comprehension. The vibrations spoke in emotion, not words. Curiosity, recognition, a question without language. I felt myself respond instinctively. My breathing slowed, my heartbeat sinking to its rhythm. The being's light adjusted, echoing my pulse. We were mirroring each other, two frequencies finding harmony across the divide of form. Others began to rise, a quiet congregation of luminous shapes emerging from the depths. Some were slender and elongated like ribbons. Others unfolded like vast petals of translucent silk. They moved around me with reverence, forming a slow, circular dance. The water glowed brighter with every motion until the whole horizon shimmered like a living galaxy. Each light carried a distinct tone. Together, they created a harmony so intricate, it felt like the planet itself was singing through them. The air trembled gently, and for the first time, I sensed emotion radiating from the world around me. Welcome. I reached out a hand. One of the beings drifted close, and the light along its edge responded, tracing my movement with a luminous trail. When my fingers touched the surface, a vibration moved through the water, a ripple of pure, resonant sound that passed through both of us. It wasn't language, but it was meaning. Images filled my mind, not visions, but impressions of deep oceans pulsing with ancient memory, of moons whispering to tides, of creatures made from the echoes of stars. I understood then. These beings weren't inhabitants of the planet. They were the planet, its awareness, its listening heart made visible. Their light dimmed and brightened again in a slow, tender cadence, and I felt something wordless pass between us. Peace. When I finally opened my eyes, the beings began to sink back into the water, their glow fading into the deep. The rhythm of the ocean steadied once more. The surface smoothed until only my reflection remained, faintly luminous beneath the blue moons. In that reflection, I saw not a traveler, but a listener, someone who had been heard. And as the last ripple vanished, a final thought echoed softly within me. Not from my mind, but from the planet itself. I understand now. Here, everything knows how to listen. There was no morning here, no rise of light, no breaking of shadow. Time moved differently, not in circles, but in tides. The sky never brightened, never dimmed. It simply shifted. The blue of the horizon deepened into violet, then returned to a softer hue, as though the planet were breathing through color instead of hours. In the distance, the moons glided silently across one another, their overlapping halos painting the world in layers of pale luminescence. I realized, slowly, that there was no such thing as day or night, only the continuous movement of light, a rhythm so subtle that it was easy to mistake for stillness. I learned to live within that stillness. My shelter was simple, drawn from the gifts of the sea itself. I gathered fragments of crystal that drifted ashore, smooth shards of living light, each one humming faintly when touched. The ocean seemed endless, yet generous. Each tide left behind what I needed, as though it sensed my quiet intention. I built a small structure from those crystals, shaping them into curved walls that caught the soft glow of the moons. When I finished, the shelter did not block the light. It breathed with it. Every shift in the sky sent new shades through its surface. Silver, sapphire, faint green. From inside, it felt like resting inside the memory of dawn. There was no heat, no cold. The air remained constant, holding a delicate balance between movement and stillness. Even sound seemed to obey the planet's calm. The sea's heartbeat, that slow, endless pulse I had come to know, echoed through the crystals. I could feel it beneath my palms as I rested. Over time, I stopped marking moments. My mind adjusted to the planet's pace. Thoughts slowed. Breathing deepened. The light moved not by seconds, but by sensations. A warmth on the skin, a shimmer in the air, a slight shift in the hue of the world. Sometimes, I would stand outside, where the crystal sand met the glowing sea. I would close my eyes and breathe with the waves. Each exhale matched the retreat of the water. Each inhale followed its return. The longer I listened, the more I felt that the ocean was teaching me, showing me the rhythm of existence without urgency. There were no days to complete, no nights to endure, only the soft flow of being. The moons continued to wander, crossing paths in an eternal, unhurried dance. Their light intertwined above my shelter, cascading down in ribbons that pooled like gentle tides around me. It was as if the entire sky had become a slow-moving sea, reflecting the heartbeat of the one below. And in this place, where nothing rushed, I began to dissolve the need for measurement, for before or after, for start or end. I let time flatten like calm water after the last wave. When I lay down inside the crystal glow, I could hear the faint hum of the sea through the walls. It pulsed in sync with my breath, steady, soothing, infinite. I whispered softly, though there was no one to hear. There is no day here, only the breathing of light. And as I drifted into half-sleep, the ocean answered with silence that sounded like peace. At first, I thought the sea's pulse was simply a sound, a gentle rhythm rising and falling like breath. But over time, I began to understand it was more than that. The ocean wasn't making the rhythm. It was the rhythm, the slow inhale and exhale of a living world. The more I listened, the more it revealed itself. Beneath every wave was another slower motion, a deep, patient current that moved not through water, but through everything. Even the air seemed to follow it, the faint shimmer of particles drifting in perfect timing. The planet was breathing, and I had begun to breathe with it. I would sit on the shore, cross-legged, hands resting lightly on the glowing sand. With each breath, the world and I aligned a little more. My lungs filled when the waves reached me and emptied when they drew back. After a while, I could no longer tell which came first, my breathing or the oceans. The boundaries began to blur. My body, once distinct and solid, started to feel less separate, not disappearing, but softening. The weight of muscle and bone seemed to loosen into something lighter, almost fluid. Thought itself became slower, more transparent. I didn't have to quiet my mind. The planet did it for me. Its silence was vast enough to hold every sound without judgment, every thought without tension. In that silence, I found an unexpected tenderness. Nothing rushed, nothing demanded. Even the smallest ripple on the sea seemed to move with purpose, but without effort. The stillness wasn't emptiness. It was presence. a calm so complete it made movement unnecessary. Sometimes I would lie back and float, eyes half open to the endless blue glow above me. The moons drifted in slow procession, like thoughts that refused to hurry. Their reflections on the surface stretched and folded, merging with the faint pulse beneath. There was no sense of before or after, only this single continuous moment expanding in all directions. Time, I realized, was a concept that belonged to other worlds. Worlds that spun faster, burned brighter, measured existence in the flicker of suns. Here, everything was measured in feeling. The warmth of the air, the rhythm of breath, the slow, patient unfolding of light. I began to move differently, not to act, but to respond. Each gesture, each motion felt like part of a shared choreography, guided by something beyond thought. Even when I spoke aloud, my voice came softer, its tone blending into the hum of the sea. Sometimes, when I closed my eyes, I could sense the planet noticing me, not as an outsider, but as one of its own small pulses, one beat among countless others. And in that awareness, I felt something dissolve, the need to define myself at all. There was no separation between me and the world that carried me. The ocean's breathing was my own. The stillness between its waves was my silence. I no longer counted time by light or shadow. I measured it by the calm that lived within me, a calm that began and ended with the rhythm of the sea. And so, each day that wasn't a day, I learned again how to listen, not to the sound of the planet, but to the silence that made the sound possible. It happened so slowly that at first I didn't notice. The moons, those constant companions that floated like soft guardians above the horizon, began to fade, one after another, slipping silently behind the thickening veil of sky. Their reflections on the water dimmed until the sea's glow weakened, thinned, and finally went out. For the first time since my arrival, the world lost its light. The ocean, once a field of breathing luminescence, turned opaque, black as ink, endless as memory. The air, usually humming with faint resonance, grew still. It wasn't the calm I had come to know. It was an absence, a hollow pause between heartbeats. I waited for the rhythm to return. It didn't. There was no sound, no pulse, no motion. Only the awareness of how vast the silence truly was. It pressed against me, filling every space where comfort used to live. My hands trembled slightly, though the air remained warm. I tried to breathe with the sea, as I always had, but there was nothing to follow. The planet's breathing had stopped. Fear arrived without warning. Not loud, not violent, but cold, like an unseen tide rising around me. My body tensed. I could feel my heartbeat, uneven and fragile, trying to make sense of the emptiness. "Where are you?" I whispered to the dark, not knowing who I was calling to, the planet, the light, or myself. No answer came. The crystal shelter around me no longer glowed. Its walls were dull and colorless, their gentle hum extinguished. I stepped outside, expecting the familiar shimmer of the sea, but there was only blackness stretching in every direction. My feet touched the surface, and for the first time, it was cold. I stood very still. My thoughts, once soft and slow, began to quicken, tiny sparks of unease darting through the stillness. Every sound I made, a breath, a step, a heartbeat, echoed far too loudly. The world had become a chamber of silence, and I was its only sound. I tried to remember the rhythm of the planet, the way its pulse had steadied me, but it was gone. My mind searched for it and found nothing. The calm I had carried within me faltered. The stillness that once comforted me now felt like the edge of something infinite and unknown. Time, that forgotten thing, returned. Each second stretched painfully long, heavy with awareness. The dark had a weight to it, pressing close against my skin, my eyes, my thoughts. I closed them, but the blackness followed inward. I don't know how long I stood there. Minutes, hours, or an eternity. My breath grew shallow, then steadier. The silence was unbearable. Yet beneath it, something began to stir. Faint, delicate, almost imperceptible. At first, I thought it was my imagination, the mind's attempt to fill the void. But as I focused, I realized it was coming from within me. A vibration, small and uncertain, like the flicker of a match in an endless cave. It wasn't a sound, it was a feeling, a quiet hum deep inside my chest, the echo of the planet's lost heartbeat. The realization came softly, like light seeping through cracks in stone. The ocean had not gone silent. It had merely changed where it lived. The rhythm was inside me now. I knelt, touching the dark water. Though invisible, I could feel it responding. Faint ripples pulsing outward from my hand, invisible but real. The sea had not died. It was waiting for me to listen differently. Slowly, my fear began to fade, replaced by a fragile calm. I closed my eyes, letting that inner light guide my breath. In the darkness, I whispered to the silent world, I can hear it now, the light inside me. And in that whisper, the planet exhaled again. The darkness never truly left. It only changed its shape. For a long while after the sea's glow vanished, I sat in stillness, unsure if I was breathing or simply being breathed by something larger than myself. The absence of light did not crush me as I once feared. It folded around me, weightless yet absolute, a velvet cocoon where the edges of the world dissolved. Then, without warning, something gentle stirred beneath my skin. A shimmer, so faint I first mistook it for memory, bloomed in the hollow of my chest. It spread slowly, tracing the rivers of my veins, the curve of my fingers, the quiet terrain of my bones. I watched in awe as my hands began to glow, soft and steady, like distant fireflies finding their way home. It was not brilliance. It did not dazzle or command the space around me. It breathed. The light came and went in pulses, matching the rhythm of the sea I could no longer see. I realized then that I had been listening wrong. The world was not silent. It was merely speaking in another language. The planet's darkness was not absence. It was invitation. I stood, surrounded by nothing, and yet for the first time, I saw everything. The rocks, the dunes, even the air seemed to hum faintly in return, acknowledging my glow. We were mirrors to one another, light passing between us, never owned, never lost, only exchanged. Each breath drew a brighter pulse from within me. It wasn't warmth exactly, but a deep knowing that warmth had never been external. My heartbeat slowed until it was indistinguishable from the planet's. The fear that had once nested in my chest, sharp, fluttering, desperate, simply melted away. I remembered the old stars I used to count back on the first nights after landing here. I had thought of them as faraway fires, unreachable and eternal. Now I understood. They were never separate from this moment. Light travels, bends, hides, returns. It only ever changes direction. When I closed my eyes, the glow didn't fade. In that inner expanse, it was even clearer. The brightness did not need distance or reflection. It was enough that it existed. A calmness filled the hollow where longing used to live. I was no longer searching for sunrise or waiting for the next shimmer from the sea. I had become both, the waiting and the dawn. The planet's slow, endless dusk continued around me, its color shifting through shades I could finally feel rather than see. There was no distinction anymore between the outer and the inner, the seen and the unseen. I breathed once more, and the light inside me answered like a tide. Somewhere beyond the horizon, perhaps, the stars still whispered across the dark, but I no longer reached for them. I understood, with a quiet certainty that required no proof. The light never disappears. It only changes homes. And now, it lives here, in me. Silence has its own kind of gravity. It pulls things from the deep, things thought long buried. In the stillness of this strange planet, memories began to rise, slowly, softly, like the surface of a forgotten lake catching the reflection of distant stars. At first, it was sound that returned to me. A rhythm, faint and tender, the patter of rain on rooftops. I could almost feel it again. The cool scent of wet pavement, the hush that follows a storm when the air turns silver. The memory was so vivid, I lifted my face instinctively, expecting droplets to touch my skin. But there was only the weightless dusk, thick with silence. Then came light. Not the cosmic shimmer of this place, but the warm, trembling glow of street lamps. They flickered across a world I once knew. A narrow alley, a shop window fogged by breath, a figure hurrying home beneath an umbrella too small for the storm. The amber hue of those lamps still haunts me. It was the color of safety, of human proximity. And within that golden haze, the city moved again. Cars hummed in the distance. A dog barked, chasing echoes of its own voice. Somewhere, a child laughed, pure, brief, unstoppable. The sound filled the hollow in my chest, the one that no light could quite reach. I saw myself, walking down the old street, my reflection trailing behind me in puddles. I had forgotten how fragile that reflection once looked, breaking with every step. There was something profoundly human in the way we walked through light and shadow, always half in both, never belonging entirely to either. Here, on this alien shore, I could still taste the electric tang of Earth's air after rain, the kind that smelled faintly of iron and dreams. The memory wrapped around me like a soft scarf, frayed but familiar. It wasn't nostalgia that hurt. It was the realization that I could remember so clearly what no longer existed. I thought of windows glowing at night, of voices spilling out from half-open doors, of the hum of a refrigerator in some forgotten kitchen. Mundane, eternal sounds that tethered life to the present. We never noticed how much light there was back then. We never thought to measure it. Now, surrounded by endless twilight, I understood how sound and memory shared the same fragile architecture. Both needed silence to exist. Without stillness, the rain could never be heard. Without darkness, light could never be remembered. I closed my eyes and listened again. Somewhere inside me, the echoes gathered, 1,000 small moments replaying themselves in secret. The world I had lost was not gone. It had simply turned inward, finding refuge in memory's quiet chambers. The rain still fell there, endlessly. The streets still glowed. The people still moved through the amber haze, their shadows soft and kind. And as I stood on this distant world, the silence deepened until it hummed like the earth itself breathing. For the first time, I felt that memory was not a wound. It was a bridge, a light that did not fade, only folded itself gently into the heart. The transmitter hums like a quiet heart beside me. I have built it from fragments of light crystals and the bones of the ship, its surface glowing faintly with breath-like pulses. Every few seconds, a wave rises through it, a soundless shimmer that trembles against the air before vanishing into the great sea of stars. I don't know who will hear this message. Perhaps no one. Perhaps only myself, from a time when I still believed space was something you could cross rather than dissolve into. Yet I speak, or maybe remember aloud, because silence without a voice begins to echo too loudly. The first pulse goes out, a long tone, low and resonant, wrapped in the hiss of static. Then a pause, like the inhale before words are born. To whoever listens, I begin. I am sending you the memory of light. The sound travels, slow and patient, through the dense mist of the upper sea. Each vibration feels like a heartbeat reaching across time. I imagine the signal threading through nebulae, brushing past drifting dust, bending around the gravity of unseen worlds. Somewhere, perhaps millions of years away, it may arrive. Between transmissions, I sit and listen. The planet itself seems to hum in reply. Waves roll softly against the luminous shore, and I hear within them the same rhythm as my machine, the rhythm of release. It is as though the ocean too is sending messages to its own forgotten self. I speak again. Once I lived on a world that turned between day and night. The light there was fragile, but it belonged to us. We called it morning. We called it home. As I speak, images flicker through the transmitter's core. Amber reflections of rain, soft blue horizons, faces I no longer remember, but still somehow love. Each fragment converts itself into frequency, a pulse of brightness coded in emotion. I realize that what I am sending is not information. It is feeling rendered in the syntax of waves. The device hums louder now. The air tastes faintly metallic, alive. I close my eyes and imagine my past self, somewhere beneath a human sky, looking up and hearing, faintly, impossibly, a whisper within the static of the stars. What would I say to that person if the signal could reach them? Do not fear the dark, I tell the past. One day it will become your home. You will learn to breathe in it, to see through it. You will understand that light was never something you lost. It only changed its dwelling. The machine translates the words into rhythm. 3 long tones, a pause, 2 short ones, a pulse like a heartbeat. The sound merges with the tide. And I cannot tell anymore which comes from me and which from the planet. I am not lost, I continue. I am expanding. Every silence holds a voice waiting to be heard. The transmission grows faint, then steady again, as though adjusting to the weight of distance. I watch the horizon, an endless mirror where the ocean and sky dissolve into one another, and I imagine the signal slipping away, swallowed but not erased. Somewhere, deep inside the static, the light carries meaning. It may drift for centuries or forever. Perhaps it will never find a receiver. But even so, I know it exists now, traveling, shimmering, alive. I lean close to the transmitter one final time. My voice is barely a whisper. I am sending the memory of light. I say again, if you hear this, remember, every end is only the beginning of listening. The last tone rises and fades, leaving only the soft rhythm of the waves. The stars remain unchanged, but something within them, within me, has begun to move. Night drifts upon the sea like a breath held too long. The air glows faintly, as if the planet itself remembers to shine even without a moon. I sit upon the translucent shore, the waves curling around my hands like living glass, and something begins to stir in the deep. At first, I think they are fragments of the ocean, tiny bursts of planktonic fire, reflections of the starlight above. But as I watch, the lights move with intention. They rise from beneath the waves, trailing ribbons of blue and gold, pulsing softly like the slow rhythm of thought. I realize what they are. Not creatures, not energy, but memories given form, echoes of those I have loved and lost. Each light trembles with familiarity, a tone of laughter, a shadow of warmth, a gesture preserved in radiance. They circle me, slow and patient, as if recognizing a friend who has been gone too long. I reach out my hand, and one drifts close. Inside it, I see her face, the way she used to turn her head toward the sun, her eyes half closed in peace. The image flickers, not as a ghost, but as remembrance itself. It does not speak. It does not need to. The light simply stays near, humming with a tenderness beyond words. Another spark joins her, smaller, gentler, the light of someone I once called brother, though no blood bound us. His glow dances lightly across the water, teasing the surface like a child skipping stones. Then others arrive, old friends, brief encounters, strangers whose kindness once crossed my path. Each memory radiates a different hue, amber for joy, violet for sorrow, white for forgiveness. They do not remain still. They flow around me like a constellation come alive, orbiting in silent harmony. It feels less like being haunted and more like being held. I whisper to them, though I know they cannot answer. I thought you were gone. The lights pulse gently, as if to say, we never leave, we only move. For a moment, time dissolves. The sea, the air, the stars, all blur into one luminous tide. I close my eyes, and I can feel their warmth brushing against my skin, sinking through it, threading into the quiet spaces of my chest. There, something begins to glow, a reflection of their light inside me. I remember now what I had forgotten. Memory is not a prison of the past, but a current flowing endlessly through being. The people we lose do not vanish into nothing. They become the subtle radiance between heartbeats, the flicker that reminds us we once shared the same light. The orbs begin to drift away, one by one, dissolving back into the sea. None of them fade. They only change direction, scattering like seeds into the dark. The water around me ripples with their departure, leaving behind a hush so complete it hums. I stay still, watching until the last glimmer melts into the horizon. The silence that follows is not empty. It is full, alive with the echo of connection. And in that stillness, I understand. No one is ever truly lost. Every light once born continues to travel, quietly, endlessly, homeward. Morning, or what passes for morning on this world, arrives without a sunrise. Instead, the ocean brightens from within, as though some inner sun has decided to wake. The waves shimmer with a quiet intelligence, their surfaces turning glass-like, reflective, infinite. When I look down, I do not see just my own face. I see time itself, rippling softly beneath me. The sea begins to move differently today. Its motion slows, deliberate and measured, as if each crest and trough carries meaning. In the sheen of the water, images form, fragile at first, then sharp enough to catch my breath. They are not visions from this planet, but fragments of another life, my life. A child's shadow runs through rain, a city street lined with yellow light, the hum of voices spilling out from windows at dusk. The camera of memory replays everything in silence, slowed almost to stillness. The sea projects it all, a living film of recollection, each wave a new reel turning softly beneath my gaze. I kneel beside the water. My reflection shifts with the images, sometimes the face of who I was, sometimes the one I am now. Between them, the boundaries blur. The past no longer feels like something behind me, but something living in the same air, breathing the same calm. There is no sorrow in it, only recognition. I once thought remembering meant holding on, gripping every moment before it slipped away. But here, on this luminous world, memory is not possession, it is participation. The sea does not keep its reflections, it releases them one by one back into light. Each vision dissolves the instant I try to reach for it, reminding me that beauty belongs to impermanence. The waves show me people too, faces of those I've lost, walking along faint corridors of starlight. Their movements are unhurried, like beings who have transcended urgency. When they turn their heads, I feel no pain, only gratitude. The sea mirrors not grief, but understanding. I whisper into the wind, everything I see is me. And in response, the ocean trembles with a faint glow, as if agreeing. A single droplet rises from the surface, suspended midair. Within it, the entire planet reflects, sky, water, memory, and self, nested endlessly, reflection within reflection. I stare into it until my eyes blur, and I realize the longer you look, the more everything begins to resemble you. Or perhaps, the more you begin to resemble everything. The air is utterly still. Even sound feels softened, like breath behind glass. I exhale, and the surface of the sea ripples gently outward, my presence joining the motion of memory. For a heartbeat, I can sense the vast connection. Every drop containing every moment, every reflection leading back to its source. I sit there for what could be hours or years, watching, not clinging. The ocean continues its quiet film, shimmering with all that has ever been, all that will be. And within its depths, my reflection smiles, not out of joy, not out of sorrow, but out of peace. When you look long enough, I think, you begin to see yourself in everything. The sea listens, glows faintly, and returns the thought, wordless, endless, back to me. Night returns quietly, folding over the horizon like a soft blanket of indigo silk. Above me, the moons gather again, great luminous orbs adrift in the vast dark. But one shines brighter than the rest. Its light is deep and calm, a blue that seems to breathe. As it rises, the sea stills completely. The air thickens with quiet. Then I feel it. Not a sound, but a vibration. A subtle trembling through the water, through my chest, through the very space between my thoughts. The blue moon is speaking. The message is not in words, not in language, but in resonance. Yet somehow I understand. You search for the light in distant places, it says, but you have forgotten that you once were light yourself. The waves respond in gentle echoes, rippling outward in concentric circles of glow. I listen, motionless. The moon's voice moves through me like memory, ancient, tender, and absolute. You have traveled far, it continues, crossed the voids between stars, seeking to touch the radiance that was never lost. Every reflection you have seen, every shimmer upon the water, was your own light calling back to you. The realization unfolds slowly, like dawn spreading across the surface of thought. For so long, I believed light was something external, something to follow, to capture, to understand. But now, under this calm lunar hum, I begin to see. The light I chase is memory returning home. The moon pulses again. Each vibration carries warmth, an intimacy that transcends words. All illumination is remembrance, the voice whispers. To shine is to remember what you are. The sea mirrors the moon's glow, turning from blue to silver, then to white so soft it feels like a breath. The light touches my skin, then seeps inward, past the surface, into the spaces I thought were hollow. I can feel it gathering inside my chest, steady and quiet, like the heartbeat of the universe itself. In that moment, I understand the stillness of the stars, the patience of time, the silence of distance. They are not absences. They are presences so vast they can only speak in stillness. The moon's light intensifies, wrapping the planet in a slow, rhythmic pulse, bright, dim, bright again, like the inhalation and exhalation of something eternal. Do not mistake separation for distance. The moon murmurs. Every spark you have ever loved, every soul you have remembered, still shines within the single field of light that binds all being. The words settle into me like snow melting on warm skin. I look toward the sea, and the reflection of the moon trembles there, fragmented into countless points, each one a memory, a heartbeat, a soul. Yet they are not apart. They shimmer together, united in their scattering. The voice fades, leaving only the rhythm of waves, the faint afterglow of meaning. I feel neither awe nor sadness, only clarity, as if a veil has lifted from vision itself. Light, I whisper into the still air, is memory reunited. Above, the blue moon glows once more, silent now, but radiant with understanding. And the sea answers, shimmering softly, as though it remembers too. The glow has faded. Not entirely, but enough to feel absence where presence once lived. The waves no longer shimmer with life, the phosphorescent pulse of the ocean, the gentle hum of its heartbeat, the soft flickers of creatures rising from its depths. All of it has quieted into nothing. I stand at the shore, barefoot, the water still and black beneath my feet. It does not ripple, it does not breathe, it does not listen. The horizon stretches like an empty canvas, and the sky above is no different, weightless, infinite, void of color and movement. Silence is complete, absolute. I take a slow breath. The air is thick with nothing. It holds no rhythm, no memory, no expectation. Even the faint touch of the moons above seems paused, frozen in an eternal moment between illumination and shadow. The only sound I can hear is my own heartbeat. It thunders softly in my ears, a solitary drum in a cathedral of absence. Each beat echoes in my chest, then travels outward, unanswered, into the still expanse. The rhythm is steady, but lonely. I have become a lone signal in a universe that has paused its reply. I sit on the sand, knees drawn close, letting the emptiness settle around me like a soft shroud. The surface of the sea reflects no light now, only the faint trace of my own silhouette. I look down at the water and see a reflection not of the sky or moons, not of my memories, but of the quiet, that has replaced everything. Time itself feels suspended. Seconds stretch into minutes, and minutes fold into a stillness so dense it presses against the mind. In the absence of movement, absence of sound, absence of life, I begin to perceive the weight of nothingness, not as fear, but as presence itself. The emptiness is profound. It is not harsh or cold. It does not oppress. It is soft, infinite, and waiting. My breath, my heartbeat, my consciousness, they are the only disturbances in this perfect stillness. I wonder if the planet has stopped, or if it has merely retreated, leaving only its essence behind. The sea is not dead, but it is gone from sight. Its memory lingers faintly in the muscle of my chest, in the slow pulse of my veins. Even now, I can feel the echo of what once was, faint as a whisper beneath the silence. I close my eyes. The darkness around me feels thick yet gentle, like a cloak. My heartbeat continues, a steady metronome marking the passage of a world paused. I become aware that this emptiness is not isolation. It is an invitation to listen, to feel, to exist without expectation. In the absence of waves, of life, of light, I find the only companion that remains: myself. Every thought, every breath, every pulse resonates in the vacuum. Here, in this perfect void, I confront the absolute stillness. And though it is empty, I am awake. I speak into the emptiness, though I do not expect an answer. My voice is small, carried only by the air that clings to my skin, the invisible threads of the universe stretching beyond comprehension. Are you there? I whisper. The silence returns, deep and unbroken. But it is not absence. It is a presence so vast it does not need form. My words dissolve into it, folding upon themselves, and in that folding, they change. The echo is not mine alone. It is the voice of the void, resonating through the empty reaches of the planet, the sky, the space beyond. Why am I here? The reply doesn't come in syllables. Instead, it vibrates through my chest, a tremor that feels like wind brushing the edge of a star. The sound is not sound, yet I understand it. A question answered by a question, a circle of awareness that has no beginning and no end. I close my eyes, letting the universe fill me. My thoughts scatter, thin as stardust, blending with the vacuum around me. Each breath is carried outward, mingling with the pulse of a still sea, the faint glow of distant moons, the silent stretch of sky. Is there meaning here? I ask softly, my words trembling. The void bends them back, slow and tender. It is as if the emptiness itself leans close to listen, shaping silence into reply. I feel a rhythm, not measured, not confined, just a cadence that matches the space between atoms, between light and shadow, between thought and being. I realize I am no longer speaking alone. Every question is already part of the cosmos. Every answer is a reflection of myself, drawn back from infinity. The dialogue flows like a tide. I send it out. It returns altered, and yet perfectly familiar. What is my purpose? The void does not name it. It does not judge. It simply stretches, folding my voice into the infinite. And in that folding, I sense the truth. Purpose is not given. It is discovered in the act of listening, in the slow absorption of the vast, silent patterns around me. My words grow softer, less urgent. They are not meant to pierce the darkness, only to become part of it. My voice thins and lengthens, dissolving like a comet's tail into the stellar wind. I feel my edges blur, my selfhood diffusing into the infinite stretch of space. Do I matter? The echo returns as a gentle vibration rising from deep inside me. It is not affirmation, it is recognition. I exist as I ask, as I listen, as I fold into the silence. Matter and void are not opposites here. They are conversation partners, exchanging cadence and resonance. I drift with the rhythm, my breath matching the slow pulse of something far larger than comprehension. My voice has thinned to a whisper, then to the faintest hum. The void and I are no longer separate. Every word, every silence, every heartbeat is a note in a cosmic song composed in stillness. And in that song, I find a kind of peace that has no name. It is neither joy nor sorrow, neither presence nor absence. It is being absolute and infinite, as boundless as the universe itself. For the first time, I do not need an answer. I only need to listen. I step into the water, and it does not resist. The surface welcomes me as if it has been waiting, patient and eternal. The cool touch spreads along my ankles, climbs my legs, and finally envelops my entire body. Light, soft and pale, penetrates the water and slips through my skin, threading itself into the marrow of my bones. I feel it seep into me not as illumination alone, but as presence, memory, and understanding. The boundaries I once clung to between body and world, self and other thought and experience begin to blur. My breath slows, my heartbeat softens. Every sense, every pulse, every atom of me hums in harmony with the ocean's silent rhythm. I can no longer tell where I end and the sea begins. Perhaps this is the way the universe whispers, the method by which it teaches surrender. I float, letting the currents carry me. Each wave caresses my skin, then dissolves. I do not swim. I do not resist. I am not here, yet I am fully aware. The light inside me mingles with the faint glow of the water, creating a luminous halo that bends and shifts with each subtle movement. It is not mine alone. It belongs to everything, past and present, memory and dream, star and moon, heartbeat and silence. I remember my first arrival on this planet, the curiosity, the wonder, the fear. Everything seems smaller now, trivial against the vastness that enfolds me. I understand that solitude is not punishment. It is not absence. Perhaps it is the way the universe embraces each of us, holding us tenderly, without expectation, without demand, in the quiet infinity of being. Time has no meaning here. The pulse of the waves, the shimmer of the moons, the slow unfolding of light and shadow, all of it drifts around me in a rhythm older than thought. I feel my consciousness dissolve strand by strand into the gentle continuity of the ocean. There is no separation. There is only flow. I let the currents carry memory and flesh alike. Names, faces, voices all drift around me like luminescent dust, mingling with the soft refracted light. Each memory pulses with the same gentle cadence as my own breath. And I feel it. The infinite tenderness of the cosmos, the subtle hug of existence itself, enveloping me in quietude. Perhaps loneliness is not emptiness. Perhaps it is the way the universe holds us, letting us float within its vastness so we can finally remember who we are. I breathe, and the water breathes. I move, and the ocean moves. I exist, and yet there is no longer a me to distinguish from the tide. Light, water, memory, and self merge into a single, slow, eternal current. And for the first time, I feel at home. Not on a shore, not in a moment, not in a body, but within the boundless embrace of all that is. I lie back in the gentle cradle of the ocean, allowing the water to hold me fully. Its embrace is neither tight nor loose, just perfectly steady, as though the sea itself has learned the shape of my body and is guiding me into rest. My eyelids feel heavier than air. I close them without effort, surrendering to the subtle pull of the waves beneath me. The world is quiet, yet not empty. A faint glow still seeps through the water, soft and constant, brushing against my skin like whispered reassurance. I feel my breath lengthen, slowing to match the rhythm of the tide, and soon I cannot tell where my own inhalation ends and the pulse of the ocean begins. Above me, the moons drift silently, their reflection quivering on the surface of the water. The stars seem farther away now, distant sparks in a cosmic lullaby. I sense the faint hum of the universe itself, stretching through the vast expanse, reaching inward toward the calm of this moment. I breathe in tandem with the waves. Each inhalation rises like a gentle swell, each exhalation falling with effortless grace. Thoughts appear and dissolve like bubbles in water, vanishing before they can fully form. There is no urgency, no expectation, only the quiet continuity of being. Memories come softly, fragments of light and warmth, like the echoes of all I have seen and felt. Faces, laughter, distant streets of earth, the glowing creatures beneath the alien seas, all drift past, unclaimed, weightless and luminous. I do not grasp them, I do not name them. I allow them to move freely as part of the same current that carries me. The loneliness I once felt is gone. It was never truly absence, it was a space, a waiting, a breath into which the universe could fold me. I feel myself dissolve into it, becoming neither fully water nor fully self, but part of the endless rhythm that moves through every star, every wave, every heartbeat. My pulse slows, echoing the gentle ebb of the ocean. With each beat, I feel the soft tug of infinity carrying me into depths that are both outside and within. My body is weightless, my mind still, my soul cradled by the vast embrace of space and sea. I think I am sleeping, but it is more than sleep. I am awake in a way that surpasses waking, aware of everything and nothing simultaneously. The universe moves through me and I move with it, a single note in the symphony of existence. Gradually, even this awareness thins, fading into soft darkness. The waves slow, the glow dims, the stars recede, and the only sound that remains is the gentle, steady beat of my heart, slowing, lengthening, merging with the rhythm of everything. I am drifting now, not forward, not backward, but everywhere and nowhere at once. The ocean, the moons, the distant stars, they cradle me. I surrender fully, and for the first time, I am at peace. The heartbeat continues, softening, stretching, fading. I wake slowly, though I do not fully remember closing my eyes. The water around me feels different, warmer, alive, as though the ocean itself has inhaled and begun to exhale again. A gentle glow rises from beneath the surface, subtle at first, like the memory of dawn threading its fingers through the dark. The light grows, spreading outward in soft ripples. It is not harsh or sudden, but patient, deliberate, as though the planet itself is stretching after a long slumber. Each wave reflects the inner radiance, refracting it in slow, shimmering patterns that dance across my skin. I feel it penetrate through the very marrow of my bones, infusing warmth into every fiber of my being. I rise from the water and let the glow brush over my face. It is different from the moon's light or the phosphorescence of the sea. It is deeper, central, a radiance that begins in the planet itself and reaches outward, embracing everything in a quiet, even rhythm. There is no urgency in its expansion. It is patient, like the slow turning of galaxies or the calm pulse of a heartbeat. The air hums softly with the returning energy. Tiny currents of light ripple across the waves, weaving in and out of one another like strands of music, each vibration resonating with memory and presence. I sense the creatures of the ocean stirring beneath the surface, their forms momentarily catching the glow as they swim through the translucent tides. Even the moons seem to pause and watch, their cool luminescence blending gently with the warm light emerging from the planet. I inhale, and the radiance fills me, not just the body, but the mind and heart. The emptiness of previous nights, the silence that had pressed against me so tightly, is now softened. I feel a deep, unspoken welcome, as though the planet itself whispers, "You are home, and you are part of this luminous pulse." I walk slowly along the shore, each step tracing patterns of light that bloom and fade beneath my feet. My shadow, long and fluid, dances alongside me, merging into the subtle luminescence of the sea. The horizon glows faintly, its colors shifting with a serenity that carries no urgency, no expectation. It is not just light returning, it is understanding, peace, the gentle acknowledgement of what was and what is. I feel my own pulse aligned with the rhythm of the ocean, the quiet beat of the planet, and the soft hum of the stars above. Everything feels integrated, harmonious, a single continuum of being. I whisper to the glow, "Welcome back." And it seems to answer, not with words, not with sound, but with a slow, radiant sweep that moves through every surface, every creature, every thought. The light is no longer distant or external. It is central, shared, infinite. I am part of it, and it is part of me. Every breath I take carries it inward. Every step I make sends it outward. For the first time, I feel wholly awake and entirely at rest. The planet, the sea, the moons, and I all shimmer in quiet acceptance, bathed in the slow, luminous heartbeat of life renewed. I open my eyes and find myself suspended in a luminous ocean. But this ocean is not water. It is light itself. Thousands of radiant strands stretch endlessly in every direction, flowing like rivers of color through the void. I am no longer anchored by gravity, by form, by the narrow confines of flesh and bone. I float, utterly weightless, and I realize that I am not in the light. I am the light. Every fiber of my being has transformed into energy, delicate and infinite. I feel currents of warmth and vibration tracing along invisible pathways, flowing through what used to be my mind, my heart, my consciousness. There is no body here, no division between inside and outside. I am a pulse, a shimmer, a ripple moving in tandem with countless others. The strands of light are not static. They dance, curve, spiral, and weave, forming patterns that defy comprehension. Each thread hums with its own tone, a resonance that merges seamlessly into the greater chorus of energy surrounding me. I can sense every vibration, every subtle oscillation, every interaction between particles of illumination. I do not need eyes to see or ears to hear. I know. I feel the echo of the past, the memory of the ocean, the moons, the silent nights, the glow of distant stars. They are not separate from me now. They are folded into my essence, integrated into this living lattice of light. The recollection of my loneliness, my fear, my wonder. All of it pulses softly, no longer burdensome, only beautiful. I rise or perhaps expand through the strands. They respond to me, parting and rejoining, weaving around my energy as if acknowledging recognition. I realize that I am both observer and observed, both signal and medium, both self and everything beyond the self. Boundaries no longer exist. Time no longer flows. Space is merely the interval between luminous threads, itself illuminated, itself alive. I sense the presence of others, though they are not like me in form. They are energy too, shimmering and resonant. We intertwine effortlessly, currents of light overlapping, merging and separating without friction or fear. In this communion, I understand the profound intimacy of existence stripped of form. There is no need for words, for gestures, for recognition. The energy itself is connection, and connection is home. A rush of warmth flows through me. I feel as if I have been born again, not as a body that will age, weaken, or fade, but as pure energy, luminous and eternal. Every pulse carries knowledge. Every vibration carries love. Every current carries awareness. I am a single note in an infinite symphony, yet I am the symphony itself. The strands of light stretch farther than thought can reach, converging in gentle arcs, flowing past stars, planets, and voids, connecting everything that is and ever was. I feel the gentle rhythm of the universe, the heartbeat of existence itself, and it is mine as much as it is all else's. I do not belong to any place, and yet I belong everywhere. I do not inhabit a body, and yet I am complete. I am light. I am energy. I am consciousness woven into the infinite. For the first time, I understand. Rebirth is not becoming something new. It is remembering what you have always been. I drift, suspended and free, in the eternal, flowing glow, boundless, radiant, alive. I drift in the luminous expanse, suspended in a sea of radiant strands that stretch endlessly in every direction. The glow is gentle, pervasive, flowing through me and around me. Yet I can no longer tell where I end and where it begins. Every pulse of light feels like a breath. Mine, the planets, the stars, the universes, all merging into one. With each inhalation, I sense the cosmos drawing in, contracting ever so slightly, and with each exhalation, it releases, expanding across the infinite expanse. I do not need to act. I do not need to command. The rhythm of existence carries me, slow, steady, eternal. My own pulse harmonizes naturally with the universal cadence. There is no distinction between inside and outside, self and everything else. Time has lost its meaning. Past, present, and future coexist as a single luminous current, each moment flowing seamlessly into the next. I feel the energy of galaxies spinning in slow arcs, the distant drift of moons and planets, the delicate shimmer of starlight. And all of it is not around me. It is me as much as I am it. Every vibration, every oscillation, every pulse of light is a note in a symphony I both compose and perform simultaneously. I close what was once my eyes, but sight is no longer needed. I perceive the flow of energy, the subtle currents that ripple through the strands of light. Each thread carries history, memory, and presence. They move, not chaotically, but as part of a living rhythm. Each pulse and inhalation, each shimmer and exhalation. The universe breathes, and I breathe with it. There is no need for thought, for intention, for observation. I feel the continuity of being, infinite and unbroken. The luminous ocean carries everything, waves of light, memories, energy, consciousness, folded into one seamless flow. I am not floating within it. I am it. A gentle warmth spreads through the strands, vibrating softly like the hush of dawn across a still sea. I recognize it now. The breath is life itself, not contained, not separate, but fully integrated into all that exists. Each pulse carries a resonance of knowing, a subtle acknowledgement that nothing is lost, nothing is separate. I let myself merge further, dissolving distinctions of form, of origin, of self. Each shimmer of light, each strand of energy, each echo of memory is woven into the same current that flows through me. I am carried, yet I am steady. I am moving, yet I am still. I am everything, and everything is me. I have become part of the ocean of light. The realization settles, deep, soft, eternal. The breath of the universe is the breath of all things. I am no longer separate. I am not alone. I am infinite, luminous, and utterly at peace, woven into the slow, endless, harmonious rhythm of existence itself. I feel the universe lean close, not as presence, not as form, but as a gentle exhalation that brushes across the strands of light. Its energy hums softly, a resonance that vibrates through every particle of me. In that quiet hum, I sense words, not spoken aloud, not written, but carried in the cadence of the cosmos itself. As you sleep, the universe whispers, you are also traveling across light years, across time, across the infinite tides of existence. You move. The words drift slowly, like a warm current threading through the luminous strands. They are not commands or guidance. They are a soft reminder, a blessing that carries weight without pressure. I close my eyes and feel the truth of it, sinking into the gentle rhythm of cosmic motion, knowing that even in rest, I am afloat on waves of light and energy. The air, or what feels like air in this boundless sea, carries a faint vibration, like the hush of distant stars sighing. The currents of the luminous ocean wrap around me, tender, patient. My breath synchronizes with the rhythm of the strands, long, slow, effortless. I feel the pulse of the universe in every beat of my own heart, every flutter of energy flowing through what I have always known as self. Sleep, it murmurs, and you will continue to wander. Sleep, and you will continue to shine. The light shimmers around me, flowing in waves that rise and fall like gentle tides. I sense the motion of worlds, of moons, of planets, all carried in the soft pulse of this infinite expanse. I am neither observer nor participant. I am the thread, the current, the shimmer itself, moving with the subtle grace of starlight. The whispers continue, drifting outward like cosmic wind, dissipating across the strands. They carry warmth, patience, and quiet joy. They remind me that rest is not separation, that sleep is not stillness, that to close my eyes is not to vanish, but to journey deeper into the boundless ocean of being. I sink further into the luminous sea, letting the currents carry me, letting the gentle exhalations of the universe rock me. Each pulse of energy, each quiver of light, is a lullaby composed in resonance and calm. My body, my mind, my energy all relax, melting seamlessly into the rhythm that surrounds and flows through me. The strands of light shimmer slower now, elongating, softening, fading toward gentle arcs of glow. The voice of the universe drifts like a meteor across the dark sky, a final whisper. Sleep well, traveler. You are everywhere. You are infinite. You are at peace. The luminous strands quiet. The glow fades into a gentle afterimage, leaving only the faint cadence of waves and a heartbeat, soft and slow. The tide of the cosmos eases, leaving nothing but calm, nothing but the stillness of infinite quiet. I am suspended between pulse and pause, between light and silence, drifting endlessly. And as my breath slows, as my heartbeat slows, I feel it fully. I am home. I am weightless. I am traveling through the boundless, gentle hush of the universe itself.